Welcome, everyone. You are listening to Readers and Writers with your hosts, James Hill and Athena Paris with Rock Hill, and I am Amy Ravichandran. And today we are talking social media, Facebook or Meta, however you want to go with it, LinkedIn, Twitter. Where's the best place for you guys to be? So I'm assuming I'm kicking this one off. Is that how this is going? Okay.
Well, you could. We could talk about Facebook. I know quite a bit about Facebook.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows about Facebook, good or bad.
Oh my gosh, yes.
If you want me to give you my views of social media, this is what I know about it. Facebook is where you go to meet people, to create an actual fan base. Right. LinkedIn, if you want to go look for business partners.
Yes.
Twitter is if you just want to go and vent most of the time. Yes. And Instagram is snippets of whatever you're up to, you know.
Yes.
That's the basic knowledge of how I understand each social media platform works. That's what I understand, what they do.
Oh man, it's crazy. And then let's just throw TikTok in there, right?
I don't know anything about them.
Oh my gosh, man. TikTok is changing the social media world, and it's a beautiful and confusing mess is what I say. You know, TikTok has inner workings. You know, the best way for me to explain it and the way I understand it is there's all of these rings or tiers. And on TikTok, you start with your inner tier, which is just your audience, right? So however many followers you have, whatever. And if it's performing well in that tier, then TikTok will open it to a bigger tier, a bigger audience, and so on and so forth. But if it doesn't perform well in the first one, you have no shot of getting more followers or anything. And the way to be successful on TikTok is to do the trends that are going on. Well, I mean, those trends change all the time. I mean, like every day they change, and I don't want to get out there and dance and do stuff, right? And so it's one of those interesting TikTok. I don't even know my feelings towards TikTok.
Let me tell you my thing on TikTok, because you know I have recently started watching these little videos that they do, and they're like 2-minute video, 3-minute video, and they're all like the crazy. It must take a lot of work to do them, but they're all very highly edited videos that they're doing. And I mean, except for maybe some of the little kids that are just doing acrobatic tricks, let's say, most of the others seem like they're very well cut, very well edited. So it must take a lot of time to produce a 2 or 3 minute video of yourself doing something crazy or something odd. Yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is like 3 minutes, I think, is the limit, right? Which is normal. I mean, that's like the normal attention span of a person nowadays, right? It's genius because it's like, oh yeah, you've kept my attention for the full amount of my attention span, you know, which is brilliant. But then when it comes to, you know, staying on trends and having these like edited videos, and now now we're all video editors, and it has to be like video-esque, and it's just like, you know, who has the time to do that? I don't have the time to do that, and let alone thinking of outside the box content every day, or how to make a basic concept seem out of the box and make it seem like it's shot on the fly when it's edited and all these things. I mean, it's genius the way that it's brought out creators and the creativity that they have, which is amazing.
I think that things like that, TikTok especially, works well for people who have a very specific type of job. Like, let's say you are really good at fixing people's cupboards, right?
Yeah.
You can just, a kitchen cupboard today, your wardrobe tomorrow, the bathroom closet the next day. This is how you do it. Looks beautiful. It looks set. You know, this you throw away, you're hoarding too much, almost like Mary and her 30-book limit. In your entire house, you should have 30 books. I'm like, what planet does this woman live on? Does she know anything about writers? There's no such house with 30 books limit. That's impossibility, you know. But I mean, anyway, I'm just saying, you know, so if you have a specific knowledge of something, like let's say you're a decorator and you quickly show people how to do your children's bedroom in 3 minutes, you can speed your video and you show people, yeah, take all of this off and you bring this in and you put that on the wall and you've got this plant and this little chair and this mat and here's your room together. That works. That's why it's a quick ad. It's a quick advertising medium.
Absolutely. You know? And, you know, it's one of those things it became really popular during the pandemic. People didn't have anything else to do. So they were doing these dances and stuff. And so, you know, a part of me feels like TikTok could be short-lived. You know, it could just be like a platform that maybe lasts 5 years. And then there's something else that comes along, kind of like Clubhouse, right? Clubhouse is still around. It's still kicking. I mean, it's a great platform for authors. I get invitations all the time for an author book club on there and book launches and all of this stuff. But, you know, it kind of, you know, lost its appeal because now everything is about TikTok. But it used to be all about Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, right? Those have always been your heavy hitter platforms, always. Or Meta, whatever you decide to call Facebook.
I'm going to say Facebook is still there. All right. They changed the name to Meta.
Yeah, they're still prevalent.
But because they are so huge and really because they were really first.
Yeah, you know? They were first. They own a bunch of social media platforms too, you know? I mean,
and they have the money. So they buy up the competition, which is, you know, and the way to stay relevant is to either beat your competition or buy your competition.
Yeah.
I think what makes Facebook work is that it has interconnecting ways of communication. Yeah. So you have videos, you have pictures, you can comment, and those conversations can go on for hours, days, weeks, months, and years, because people can come back and suddenly see one of the posts and suddenly comment and restart something all over again. So I think that's why Facebook works, because everybody can go on it daily. It's easy to access, easy to comment, easy to upload something on, whereas Twitter, it's just your 140. It's very limited, so you have to think carefully what you're going to say and what you're going to attach, whereas Facebook is basically where you write your first draft. Go for it.
And I would like to say that people should realize that even with Twitter, where you say, you know, it's 140 character and then it moves on very fast from your screen. But none of this stuff is actually lost. Once you put something in social media, once you put something in the internet, it's there forever.
Oh yeah.
And and as we see now, people have been burned by the things they had said, you know, that come back years later to burn them. And it's like, all right, you might have said that as a joke 10 years ago or 5 years ago. You might have been joking when you put that up, but now 5 years later, no one knows what the joke was. And now they're just taking your words.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for all authors. We write our books, and our books, and most authors are social commentary of that moment.
Yeah.
Now, I don't care what you write in the realm of fiction, really, because, you know, nonfiction writers are writing about something specific business-wise. But as fiction writers, what most fiction writers are writing about is the time they are living in. And it's a social commentary on that time and that. Now that may change going down the road because people evolve, times change, things change, situation changes. Yeah. But you take that book and you read it 10 years later, and that's the thing about writing a great novel. It stands the test of time.
Yeah.
Even if the time that you're reading it in doesn't reflect what's going on in that novel. And that's the thing that you have to worry about. And I say worry about because a lot of times social media, you don't get that idea of seeing the entire idea. You only get a snippet of that person at that particular time.
Yeah.
And it may not be very flattering sometimes what you put out there.
Man, I mean, social media is an amazing tool and it's an amazing resource, and it's changed the way marketing and stuff is done now. but it is also one of those things that you can't just throw anything up there that you want to, you know, and think that just because you deleted it, it's deleted. It's not, you know, it's the cold hard truth. It's not, it's always going to be there, you know, so you always have to be careful of what you put and not overthink it, you know, don't overthink what you put up there, but just think of the way that you word it and the things that you say. Right. Because like whatever I, you know, put up there today, you know, in 10 years could be taken out of context because it's a different time. Right. And like you said, people evolve, societies evolve, all these things evolve and they change. And so it's kind of one of those things that, you know, you have to be strategic and careful when you're posting on it, you know, and I'm not saying like be strategic as like only post about your book and buy my book. Right. Because people don't like that on any platform you're on. People don't like that. They don't like being sold to. They like buying from people that they feel like they have a connection to. It's relatable and, you know, has something of value to them that they want to read because it's their genre, their interests. You got dragons, magic, wizards, whatever. And that's appealing to those people, but they don't want you to hard sell them. They want to buy it because they want to support you and because it's the genre that they read and it's relatable and they can't wait to hear what happens. So you sprinkle that in there, right? But you give snippets of your life or your writing journey or, you know, hey, you know, if you have a dragon in your book, what would you name it? What color would it be? Because there's all kinds of different dragons. You know, here's some dragons mentioned in my book. You know, something like that where you're engaging, right? Those things won't get you in hot water, okay? Like those are things that you won't get in trouble for and it's all good. You know, posting.
And I would like to say one other thing. I would like to say on that note, you have to know your audience too, because you know, in Facebook, you know, and another social media platform, are you talking to authors? Are you talking to readers? You know, it depends on the group that you're talking to, because, and this is the thing that a lot of people get in trouble with. They say, you know, I put this stuff up on Facebook and I'm expecting to get, you know, all these readings and stuff, and you ask them, well, what are you in? I'm in authors groups, you know, I'm in writers groups. Okay, well, you're talking to other writers. You're not talking to the people who read the book or buy your book. You talk to other writers. So what you need to talk to in that particular situation is plot ideas, what this person is writing about, what that person is writing about. You know, they're there to help themselves and to help you with that type of thing. If you want to pick readers, and if you're trying to talk to readers to tell them about what you have written and what you're trying to sell, because let's face it, we are trying to sell, you need to be in readers groups, you know, bloggers, you know, because they're interested in what people have written and they want to talk about that kind of stuff. You want to talk to book clubs, you know, those are the groups and those are the type of people. So you have to know what your message is, and it still has to be a message. You got to be social, because that's the whole idea between social media. It has to be something exposing yourself, not just what you did, but exposure of yourself. But you also have to know that the message has to fit the group that you're talking to.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
You know, a couple of years ago, they told everyone that the correct way to go about social media was in Facebook, create two completely different pages, your personal page and your author's page. There's some merit in that. So be completely professional on your author's page and then do your personal things on your personal page, like family pictures, dog pictures, what you ate when you went to the mountains and the river and things like that. But nowadays, people want connections, like you say. Yes. So now the professionalism that they spoke of before, it was like, it's clear cut. Don't mix the two. It's business and pleasure like that, and they separate. But now we are actually changing the way we consume things. We don't want to consume things without knowing what's behind it. Yeah. So a book is exactly that. So you've got a professional page and you put nothing personal. So I don't know who you are. How can I like you? I want to know something about you. I like your hair. Do you do it? Do you color it? Do you, curl it? What do you do to your hair? I would really like to know. And that way is a way of communicating with a large group of your fan base. Let's say romance writers, mostly women. Women care about their hair, their looks, their makeup. So if you approach personal things like that now, today, you actually gain followers and fans because they understand what you're talking about. Whereas before they told you, no, separate completely. The two are not mixing, and don't talk to them like that. Don't tell them what eyeshadow you use. That's none of their business, you know, and that kind of thing. It was like that 5-10 years ago. Now it's join them together. I need to know, what puppy do you have? Is it across something? What is it? I would like to know. What's its name? I want to know what your doggy's name is. You know, I like to see pictures of your doggy's name, you know.
Yeah,
what is
they're
it?
More blended.
Yeah, that was the whole drive behind Facebook going to Meta. It's the idea that they were blending the virtual world with your real world, you know.
Interesting.
That's what not only was it a ploy to get away from all the bad things that you said about Facebook,
I was going to say,
they were also trying to give you that blend. And most people think that Meta symbol is the infinity symbol, and it's not. It's actually, if you take it like a racetrack that had two high bank curves at either end. So you're going around the racetrack, you go up, you come down, you go up, and you come down. So that's how the Meta symbol looks when it's laid out flat. And then they get kind of like turned it sideways. So when it turns sideways, it kind of like looks like the infinity symbol, but it's not. It's like a blend of the real world and a virtual world.
Man.
And so they're trying to blend everybody into this virtual world where you can have this avatar and
what did I say meta means in my language? It means the goal. It's a goal of something. So, and the goal is to integrate everything. Yes.
That's a cool concept. It's cool and scary at the same time, right? Because you're blending reality and virtual reality together.
Yeah, what's the next step in virtual reality?
Well, I mean, but eventually, you know, if everything becomes so blended, you're going to not get confused on what's real and what's not real, but things would blend together, right? There's all these like possibilities, and technology is such an amazing thing, and social media is so amazing, you know, and we could sit here and go on and on about it, you know, but we are out of time for today. So we'll have to revisit the social media and the whole meta and virtual reality and blending and all of these things. But social media changes all the time, and that's what makes it so fun, especially for someone like me. Algorithms change like monthly now. It used to be like every 6 months, you know, now it's like monthly, and keeping up to date with all of these things. But
all right, before we go, I'm going to task you with making a TikTok video for Rockhill Publishing.
I'll
give you time, whatever you can get it.
Oh my goodness. Well, you guys have heard it here on Readers and Writers. So until next time, make sure you join us next week. We will be talking with Diane Boehm about changing genres. So you're not going to want to miss that. So we'll catch you all next week. Bye, everybody. Thank you.